Okay, so that first round went about as well as it possibly could have. I'm actually kind of sad about that. One, because I know you guys aren't going to accuse me actually of cheating, but you are going to accuse me of being lucky, and you'll be right. That was incredibly lucky. But let's pretend like that didn't happen. We would still be in pretty good shape, right? If we hadn't drawn the rope, we found the grasslands, we would have been able to construct the rope this turn, and everything would have been great. Even if we didn't find the grassland, we would have cycled through some of the tiles, and our explorer would be in place in order to use that reconnaissance again to make sure that we would get it this round. And we could do a bunch of explores. We are going to eventually need to find a mountain terrain in order to get the knife. So we're not done exploring by any means, but we are well ahead of the game, and that's gonna help us. We're ahead of schedule. But just to be clear, you don't have to get that lucky in order to have a chance to win the game. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. We have to draw an event card now. Because the space here isn't available, we just slide this over. It's still going to be available for us to get that food this round if we want to. So first things first, it's a book. This is a book event. There's two different types of event. There's book events, and then there's these question mark events. And this is a book one, and for this scenario, when we get that represents a storm. We have to reduce our palisade level by 1. Unfortunately, we don't have a palisade because we can't build one until we have a shelter. There's a rule in this game, the rule of unfulfilled demands. If you have to do something like this, like remove a palisade, and you can't, every character is going to take a wound. So even though we're doing so well, our characters are taking quite a few wounds. And we'll really need to worry about that. We really got to get that shelter built so we can get our palisade up. We don't have anywhere close to the amount of wood that we need. So we're still in a little bit of trouble here, even though we're ahead of schedule. Now let's see what the event says. It says sleepless nights, insomnia. We need to put a reroll of victory token onto the building, gathering resources, and exploration action fields. During the next action of each type, you have to re-roll 1 success. Wow, that is rough. But we have a rest here. If we send 1 character token here, we can discard this card and get a determination token. If we fail to do this rest, we're going to end up putting a marker on these 2 fields, which will force us to have to resolve an event. We're going to just put them here and hope that we can remember that we need to do that. That's brutal, because that means there's going to be quite a bit of failure going on, most likely. Oof. All right. Well, that was the event phase. Now we go to the morale, and because we're at the highest level, our main character for the round, which is the explorer, can either take 2 determination tokens or heal 1. I'm tempted by the heal, honestly, but I think the determination tokens are going to be a little bit more important. We're not doing as well as you might think. Okay, so now we do production. Same thing. Wood and a perishable food. So we have 2 wood. That's not enough. Well, it wouldn't normally be enough to build a shelter, but our carpenter has a special ability, so actually I think it will be enough to build a shelter. We now get to do our actions. Now we have some interesting choices here. I think we definitely want to get that shelter built. And the carpenter has a special ability where she can discard 2 determination tokens to spend 1 less wood for a construction action. And because of this token, I'm thinking we might want to double up so that we don't have to roll that die, so we can be assured that we're going to be able to build it. So you put all the resources that you're going to need in order to do it in the spot, because you have to have everything in order to do an action. You can't chain them together. You have to imagine all these actions are happening basically kind of at the same time, and so you can't like gather some wood and then use it to do a build in the same round. And because we're a little bit ahead of schedule, we don't have to worry yet about constructing this raft. We are going to need to generate a bunch more wood. But because we're taking so much damage, I'm also a little concerned about food. So I think we do want to come down here just so everyone can eat. Oh, I can remove this. That was from the last round. Let's have the explorer. I think we're gonna do a little bit of exploring there. Let's just go ahead and get this food also. We can afford to be a little bit slower now. Final answer. That's what we're doing. We start here, we go this way. So we're gonna get both a perishable and a non-perishable. And those are gonna go into the future resource. We collected some food crates. That's gonna help. We don't get them right away. We don't have to roll or do anything like that. We just had to put 2 people there in order to get both of those. Then it says discard the card. Okay, now we come over here to our construction. Now, because we're not rolling any dice, we don't have to worry about that. We just automatically succeed because we're really taking our time here. The cost is based on the number of players, so it's either 3 wood or 2 pelts. We're going to do 2 wood, and we're going to use economical construction power to use 1 less wood. We'll just move that token down into the spot to now show that we have a shelter here. So this camp now is fully a structure. And now we can start putting a roof on, we can start putting palisades, and we really need those palisades because of the storm that we're dealing with. And now we're going to resolve these explores, and we'll want to remember that we're going to have to re-roll a success. Assuming we get one. So let's start in this burned out area. Okay, there's a success, so we can now remove that token. And we still got a success. Boom. So again, we have to ignore these. These are just, we consider those blanks because we're not playing with the expansion. So didn't take any damage. Succeeded. So we're just going to take this top one. Okay. We have to burn one of these sources. I'm going to burn the food because we might need to go after that wood at some point. Okay, this is our first little symbol there. So for this scenario, we take this 1, put it on the... This is the first one of those symbols that we've seen, and it tells you here what it represents. Slippery rocks. That means our explorer fell on some slippery rocks and hurt themselves for 2 damage. 1, 2. And we passed over minus morale. Our morale goes down by 1. Not good. But we also get a discovery token. Okay. So if we have the pot, we can turn this in to increase our morale by 1. We don't have the pot yet, so that's not going to be super useful. All right. Oh, nope. We haven't resolved everything yet because we have that question mark there. So we have to resolve an event. Now, we could spend 2 determination to re-roll one of the green dice. We could try to re-roll that and not get an event, but I'm going to hold on to my determination for now. So let's see what we get. The flu. Oh, man. During your trip, a cold rain leaves you soaking wet. You feel like you are getting the flu. So we have to decide, either discard a food or shuffle this into the event deck. That could be bad, huh? I'm worried about her taking more damage here because she's already pretty low. And we could try to offset, we could try to invent the cure, and usually that'll offset illness like this. I think we're gonna have to spend the food so we don't have to put this back into the deck. We have 1 food that we can use. Because we did that, we don't have to suffer any further consequences there. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Okay, that was only the first explorer. We have another explorer up there. Ooh, nice. So the question is, do we want to reroll that damage? She's pretty low. Yeah. Well, no, the chances are not great. 50-50. I think she'll take the damage. We want to keep those determination tokens. And no event, and a success. All right. Another grassland spot, another wood. That's good. Another beast. Again, we don't look at that. And 2 more discovery tokens. First one. Okay, no rain. Second one. Oh, special symbol. We check in this area to see what it means for this scenario. It's a ruined hut, 2 wood. Wow, what a find. That is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and just replace it with 2 wood and put it in the future resource pile. That was a great find. Looks like we're done with all of our actions. There's no weather. Oh, all this stuff comes down. Don't have to deal with any weather. Night phase, we're sleeping in a nice shelter, so no one takes damage for, sleeping out in the open. And I tell you what, now that we have a shelter, I want to do something real quick. I'm going to use one of the soldier's abilities. She has something called the Hunt. We can discard 2 determination to increase our palisade or our weapon level by 1. Let's go ahead and do that. So now we're prepared. If we get an event, we can now deal with that storm without losing any more health. That's going to be critical. And now we have to eat, and we only have 2 food because of that flu. So obviously the explorer needs to eat. And now the question is the soldier or the carpenter going to eat? And I'm afraid that the soldier is going to be going hunting and probably is going to take some damage there. So I'm going to have the soldier eat and the carpenter take 2 hits. 1, 2. Crosses over a lose morale. And there we go. I think that is it. I think that's all that we're going to do for now. Now, wait a minute. I could spend 3 to increase our morale by 1. The explorer has that ability. Yeah, I am going to do that. So we're going to spend 3 determination and increase the morale. Like I said, keeping that morale as high as possible for as long as possible is critical. Jenny needs to lose 2 health. I want to clear these off. And we can mark both of those off because we found those mountain terrain. So that was really helpful. Okay, now we're done. Move on to round 3. So looking ahead, we're going to need the knife for the lifeboat, but we're also going to need a ton of wood and 4 pelts. Pelts are hard to get. You really get them from animals and hunting. That's what we're going to probably need to do. If you explore enough, you can come here and get this balloon wreck, which will give you 2 pelts, but I don't know that that's how we want to do it. I think we're going to do it through these beasts. Let's check out the event. Once again, we have that book symbol. This time we're prepared because we do have a palisade level, so we're just going to lose it and no one's going to lose any health. Okay, it says foul weather. You don't want to go outside the camp today. Oh, God. So this says put a minus person on the gather resource action field. Okay. As an action, it says securing the sources. We can come here with a shovel, which we have, and we can discard this card in order to get a determination token. If this were to go and fall off, right? If we were to not come here long enough for this to fall off, then this negative thing would happen, which says choose 2 sources on tiles adjacent to your camp and cover them with a black square. They are exhausted. So we need to come here before this falls off, or we're going to have to exhaust a bunch of sources, which could be a problem because we need those wood sources. So we put that onto this gather. It's going to require more people here. If we put 2 tokens, it's going to be as if we were doing it for 1, and we'll still have to roll. So the gathering is pretty difficult right now. Well, we don't need to gather because we have all the wood we need. Well, here, let's just go through this. So, morale, 2 determination tokens for the carpenter. She's first. We get to produce. And now for our actions. We can definitely build this raft. And that is something that I think that's what we want to maybe just go ahead and get that over with. We're going to need to hunt at some point. I'm just going to let that fall off, I think. The punishment here is not too bad. I have a lot of stuff, and I'm worried about food. Because once we do rescue Jenny, she's going to need to be fed. So we're going to need 4 food around, or we're going to take a bunch of damage. We're only getting 1. If we made this snare, the carpenter could make this snare. That would give us an extra food in each production. And this pit will let us roll this die, and we'll have a pretty good chance of just getting 2 more food during the production. So those 2 things combined would get us all the food that we need. Also, hunting is a good way to get food. The problem is sometimes you can get a bunch of food, and it'll be perishable. We won't necessarily be able to store it from round to round, unless we had this cellar, which we could make, which would turn our perishable food into non-perishable. We're also going to need to do the knife. Maybe that will increase our weapons. Maybe we want to do that before we go hunting. But if we do that, how do we get the food this round? That's the problem. Because right now we have 1 food and our health is getting really low. Definitely have problems. Definitely have problems here. Well, we don't need to explore. And I think the explorer, she's in such bad shape. She is going to be mostly assisting others. Let's have the explorer assist the carpenter to build the raft. That way we don't have to roll, so we don't have to worry about that. And the carpenter has 2 determination tokens here, so she can do this for 1 less wood. And then she can kind of haphazardly try to build... Ooh, maybe the pit doesn't give us food right away. None of this gives us food right away. I think we need to attack. I think we need to hunt today. I don't think we can really wait. Now, hunting requires 2 tokens. So actually, we could have the explorer help with that. We could also have the explorer rest and get a heart back. And that's not the worst thing. And then we'd have these 2 to build something. We're going to need some more palisade. So we could build that moat. That gets us 2. God, I really like that pit or the cellar. If we're going to be attacking and we get a bunch of food, having that cellar would be super useful. The moat will really start... Yeah, the moat will really protect us. I think that might be the better way to go. I tell you what, we're going to be a little risky. We're going to go for the moat and the pit. Final answer. Final answer. Okay, so we skip all this, and here we are hunting. We have some pipe and tobacco, and I'm feeling like we want to use it here. We're going to get 2 extra determination. That way, if we turn this over and we need to use frenzy, we'll have the determination to do so. Frenzy, you spend 3 determination to add 3 to our weapon level. So if we meet a really bad beast, we can get up to weapon level 6 temporarily just in that battle. I think that's the best way to go. Hopefully we won't need to do that. So what we do is we just turn over the top card and see what happens. It's a gorilla. Oh, wow. It's a gorilla. What the heck? Wow. Okay, so I would like to frenzy, please. Thank you. So that gets us to weapon level 6 temporarily. We have sort of like a fake level 6 because she's gone insane, which is good because the gorilla has an attack of 6. So we don't have to take any damage. We actually met the ferocity of this gorilla. Wow, I've never seen the gorilla before. In this battle, we really damaged our stuff here. So we're going to actually lose 3 weapon levels. So our weapons are destroyed. And yeah, what I feared has come true here. We're getting 5 food. You know, most of that's going to go bad. If we had done the cellar like I was thinking about, then we would have been in a lot better shape. Ugh. But we get 2 pelts, and that is huge. And then it says, after the fight, we get to take a one of these discovery tokens. Ooh, I like that. This is like a token that we can use once for a building action. So that'll help us do a building action, which is good. We're going to need that. Well, we took down a gorilla. That was special. Didn't take any damage, but we now have no weapon level. That's a problem. Moving on. We're building. So we have just a complete build here, so we don't have to roll anything. And so now this raft is built, which means next round we can do an explore action on here to rescue Jenny. Beautiful. We're ahead of schedule. Okay, now for our other builds. Let's start with the soldier in this pit. We're going to need to roll. And we have to re-roll 1 success here. So let's do that. Okay, well, we didn't get a success, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't have determination tokens to be able to use any special abilities. Not that she has one that we could use. So that's just 2 determination. And she takes a damage, and we lose a morale. Okay. Well, we get this wood back. We didn't need that. Because we didn't succeed. You don't lose the resource if you don't succeed, luckily. That would be really brutal. All right, well, this reroll is still in effect for our moat. Okay, that's a blank, but we have to reroll this success. Come on. Yeah! That is lovely. So we're going to spin that wood. And we have constructed a moat. No damage, no question marks. That could have gone much worse. Okay. Love it, love it. Now, I think we're going to, before we go any further, the soldier is going to use this ability again, 2 determination to increase our palisade. Actually, the moat's increasing our palisade by 2. She could increase our weapon level by 1. Yeah, it's good to have 1 weapon level. So let's have her do that. I don't like doing anything where I have no weapon level. That can be problematic. Okay, so now all this stuff comes into the available. So our moat is giving us those 2 palisade levels. God, we're gonna be wasting so much food. All that gorilla meat just going to waste. That's tragic. Still no weather. Night phase, we're sleeping, we're happy, and we have all the food in the world. We eat like kings. Hey, everyone have 2 food. Why not? Fill your bellies. All goes to waste. But at least we didn't take any damage. So that's a huge positive. Ginny, however, she does not get to eat any of that food, unfortunately. She's still taking 2 damage. We're a little low on determination tokens. That has me a little worried, and our morale is a little low too. So we're doing okay, but we're going on to round 4. We have the raft, so we can now rescue Ginny. Things are definitely looking okay. I think we're hanging in there.